Brownie, you're not in Texas, are you? My God, man. You remember that damn Louisiana Katrina thing? We just want to make sure you're still in Denver on 630 KHW. You're stirring it up. You're stirring it up.
No, that was just so funny. Remember that little snafu we had?
Snafu. Yep, you remember that, don't you? My God, man. We stood out there and I called you Brownie. You told me everything was going to be good. Next thing you know, people dead. Are you serious? Oh, no.
No, I said we're out.
Oh, I thought you were kidding.
Oh, no.
Did we have anybody watching though?
No.
You're going to have, I want you to literally stop it and restart it. I don't want that one up and deleted. You're fucking killing me. Literally.
It's all about you event. $300 now and the opportunity for another $1,000. Call for details.
Okay, I'm going to write these down. So you make sure now you go, hey, there's like a 20-second video. This is important, Suzanne. There's like a 20-second video up on Facebook. We accidentally started it too early, then we restarted it. Please take that down immediately.
Extra mile promise. If it ever takes more than one trip to complete your paint project, we'll bring
And YouTube.
Don't miss them.
And YouTube.
Free paint sale only at Ace.
Can you delete it from YouTube?
I don't think I got that.
Oh, wait. Today's Thursday.
There are lots of amazing cars on the road, but perhaps none more amazing than the paid-off car. It may not be pretty, but the price is right. Heck, if you keep that thing running, it'll actually start paying you. Because with Napa Rewards...
Oh, Lord. Thanks a lot, Dan. Yeah, you got me. You got me in the zone, baby.
Watch the savings start rolling in. That's
Elvis.
I'm Elvis. I'm the king. I get so pissed. I guess it helps if I have headphones, right? Oh my God, look at
I'm
this.
feeling down, and I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground.
Welcome to the show. My name's Mark Major, and as you know, this is the only show of its kind. Why do I say that? Because we solve problems, we answer questions, we get directly involved, we kick butt, we go after the bad guys, we recover money from you. It's very simple. If you've been ripped off or taken advantage of, this is the place you come. I got to tell you, over 100, listen to what I'm saying, folks, $100 million in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, services, you name it, that's what we do. So if you've been ripped off, you've got a problem, you give us a call. We've got lots of updates to talk about today. And I want to talk a little bit about, I got to tell you, health insurance. We're going to talk, I think we've got Brent Ivinson. He's running a little late. He's going to be in. Frank Duran might stop by. I really don't know, but I got to tell you, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff, and we have got all kinds of things going on. But Suzanne, my lovely wife.
Yes.
I would like John from Integra on as soon as we can get him. I have got some questions for him because I've got to tell you, everybody in the world complains about Obamacare, but people have got to understand how bad it is because they don't. So I need a real insurance expert up on that, please.
Okay.
All right. And then we're going to talk to John Fuller a little later on.
If he's available.
If he's available.
He hasn't texted me back yet.
Attorneys are tough. And I'll tell you something else, too. Thanks to Frank Duran, the real estate man, I have got a couple tickets to give away. Deputy Dan, how should we give these away? You know, here's the problem. I'm looking at these. It's ZZ Top. They got those long beards. I mean,
yes,
ZZ Top. Drew, have you heard of this band, this ZZ Top?
I have.
Okay, well, I figured you haven't because all you play is this new crap. When's the last time you played a ZZ Top song?
I'm not sure I've ever played one. I'm not a fan of them.
Well, okay, they got long beards like you. In fact, you probably would get along with them. But regardless, I digress. I have 2 tickets we're going to give away in my hand, thanks to Frank Duran, the real estate man, to ZZ Top. He can't make it. It's for Friday, September 1st, tomorrow, at 7 p.m. Now, there is a caveat. You know where this is? You guys know where this is?
I saw it. I don't know where that's at.
It's at the Southwest Motors Event Center, and it's In Pueblo, I think. Where's the state fair? Isn't that Pueblo?
Yeah,
Pueblo,
it's in
yeah.
Pueblo.
I think it's the state fair, so I mean, maybe, gosh, dang, these are pretty far away, but if you grew up listening to ZZ Top, or if you're heading down to the state fair, good trivia.
What about like a code word on live video during break?
Hey, that's a good idea. Go to Facebook, and during the break, we'll figure out how to give these out. But if you know anybody that wants to go, it's far away. Now, the other thing I got today, this is crazy. You see what I got here? Now, granted, it's preseason. I think it's tonight. Is this tonight? Yeah, Thursday, August 31st. These are 2 tickets to the Broncos games tonight. It looks like they're playing the Cardinals. I got 2 of these bad boys we'll give away. These, I'm sure, will go quick. And these, once again, these are actually thanks to Buddy Mitchell at simplyfloorsinc.com. One of the best flooring companies in the world, great pricing, great everything. But Buddy's giving these out. I thought that was a great idea. And then Frank Duran's giving some ZZ tickets out. I mean, we never give away stuff on this show. It's kind of weird we have these all of a sudden, but that's how it goes. All right, listen, I am going to get to the calls. Shay's got a problem. 303-713-8255, 303-713-8255. And I'm going to go over an update to, you know, we've got a couple of them, but the one really irritating me is still Denver custom food trucks.
I went through the podcast, Mark.
Yes.
So I time-stamped it downstairs and forgot to give it to you this morning. So.
And he 100% absolutely said he was overnighting that money or getting it sent right to him.
He definitely said he was giving her the $3,500. I didn't listen to after that. I guess I should have.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Oh, I know he did. And I told him. What did I tell him? I said, well, if it doesn't show up, I'll be happy to do commercials for him every day. So please, let's set up his information on here so I can warn people about Rudy. And then we found another video where one of the local newscasts went out there and confronted this deadbeat. I mean, this guy's really a bad guy, folks, is Rudy. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Let me jump right on a new one. Shay, what's going on? Shay, you're up.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. So I'm calling because I had a house that I rented up in the high country that when I moved out of last season, I got the carpets cleaned. And I had called Rocky Mountain Chem Dry because they were my only option at the time. And I spoke to the owner, a guy named Dave.
What does that mean? I'm curious. What do you mean your only option?
Well, I had a time frame to move out and get the carpets cleaned.
I got you.
And everybody in Park County was booked.
I got you. So you called Rocky Mountain Chem Clean, or Chem, what is it?
It's Rocky Mountain Chem Dry, and they're over in Winter Park.
Okay.
And the reason why I called them is because when you call over to Chem Dry, they send you to the person that's responsible for that whole territory. And even though that territory is huge, he's responsible for it. So
okay.
when you found out that go ahead.
Go ahead. So let's get to the problem, though.
Yeah. So we had a discussion about him cleaning the carpet, and would he be able to do that? And he said yes. But I was still looking around because I wanted to see if I could use my normal guy. So we had a couple of conversations, and when I finally chose him, we talked about the fact that he had to drive so far, and was that going to affect the rate? And he assured me that he would be charging no more than what people in Park County would be charging. That
okay.
He wouldn't price gouge me.
Okay. So what happened?
So I didn't hear from him, and I called him all afternoon trying to figure out if he was coming to the house. Okay,
Shay, listen, just for the sake of getting through this call, what is the problem right now? Did he overcharge you, in your opinion?
Absolutely.
How much did he charge you, and how much carpet did he clean?
Well, he says he cleaned 1,200 square feet, and he charged me $541.
For 1,200 square feet. I don't know if that's that crazy. How much did you think it was going to be?
Every time I've gotten the house cleaned before, or carpets cleaned before, it's been between $250 and $300.
Did he give you an estimate when he walked in?
No, because I didn't even know he came.
What do you mean? So you didn't even authorize him? You were still looking for someone else? He showed up, he goes into your house, he cleans it, and you had no idea he was even doing it?
No, it's a little bit simpler than that. We did decide to work together. We chose a date where he would come up. I never heard from him, so I didn't know that he came, but I guess he did come.
Well, were the carpets cleaned or not?
So the carpets were cleaned. But I didn't know it. I didn't know until after I got the bill. I didn't already reach out.
This is, I mean, where did these come from? My God.
Know,
so,
it is a little crazy.
Shay, it sounds insane. So you're telling me you call this guy up.
Right.
He says he's going to charge you a normal price, whatever that is.
Right.
But you don't talk specifics, right?
No.
Okay. So, then do you actually set up a day or not for him to show up?
I did.
Okay. Did he show up that day?
I think so.
Oh, Lord. Shay, I mean, either the carpets got cleaned or not. Are you telling me your carpets were so clean or he does such a horrible job, you can't even tell if he was there or not? For real?
For real. I did not know if he came.
Okay, hold on a second. Suzanne, I've got to have another part to this. Let's try to reach out to this carpet guy and have him on, this carpet cleaner. I mean, she's saying she can't even tell if the carpets were cleaned or not. I mean, so either there was two things. Dan, am I missing something? Either one, the carpets were so clean that even after cleaning, they still looked the same, or he didn't show up and clean them. Right. I don't know the answer.
I can't. She told me this was a billing issue.
Well, it's become far more than a billing issue, but let's try to get this guy on. Shay, hold tight. We're going to try to get them on and go from there. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that. I have no idea what to say about that. Mike's got a little... No, he's got a big problem. He says he's being discriminated against. Mike, give me the scoop before we got to go to break so I know if I got to get an expert up what I'm looking at. Mike? You know, I've trained my whole life for situations like this. Mike! My God, man! Turn the radio down. Are you there? Did you fall asleep? I'm just going to put him on hold, Suzanne.
Hello?
Yes, Mike.
That was delayed.
Let me, you say you're being discriminated against.
Well, sir, we've gone far beyond that part.
Okay.
Filed and I attached all the paperwork to my email, so you should have everything.
I will have it over the break. Keep going, sir.
Here's the deal. I did file the initial complaint charging harassment.
Where?
With Harris Park Metropolitan District. It's a community above Bailey.
Harris Park, what? Community Division?
Metropolitan District.
Metro District, okay.
Yes, I was the fish warden at the time.
Did you work there?
Yes, I was employed as the fish commissioner. We have 3 private lakes, and I was paid a token salary. But, yes, I was an employee at the time. In fact, there are 2 very important documents there. One, all
right, hold on a second. I'm going to get those emails, but I'll tell you right now, something sounds fishy to me. That's your cue.
Oh, Lord. Was that too cheap?
This guy's...
Let's get Sean on, please, or unemployment.
I talked to this guy for 25 minutes.
Oh, God, don't say that, Dan. And does he have a real deal or not?
No. He says, oh, you wait till you see that.
What did they discriminate?
That they, PTSD, Vietnam vet.
This guy?
Yeah. So he has PTSD. They said they were giving him crap and bringing his PTSD up on time or back up. Like he said, they were giving him crap, and he said he brought tears to his eyes, and then the lady said, oh, look at poor baby's crying. So that's what it is that they... You know what he's making? $100 a month.
How's that possible?
He said token salary. That's what he said he's making. The stuff to read through is just way too much. You won't even want to read through. Have him describe it, but you're going to have to ask questions, because he'll go on for this freaking story here. And I bet you I told him 10 times. I says, I don't even know what's going on here. This is, oh, wait till you see this. He's not a good one. He's not a,
Online, on demand, and streaming live.
I think I heard you talking to him, pulling your hair out.
Yeah.
It's unusual to do commercials about this, because if you're an addict, you're not going to listen. I hope you would.
I don't see anything on discrimination and stuff with that.
Because usually it's the family and loved ones who
they were giving them crap.
Rehabilitation.
What it comes down to.
The Raleigh House. We met with these people. They are genuine from top to bottom. They absolutely.
And then he wants to sue for $250,000.
And for what they do. If you call the Raleigh House, they want to help you help the addict in your life, whether it's alcoholism, cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, meth. Painkillers are the biggest thing right now. Stimulants, sedatives, and even marijuana has caused problems.
Did you get the emails?
Did
you get them there?
I don't even know if I want to
approach them. And here's the number for the Raleigh House: 720-89.
What does he want? His job back?
No, he wants $250,000.
For what?
Because they were giving him shit because of PTSD.
TheRaleighHouse.com, 720-893-5559.
I mean, how does he even get to those damages?
Because that's the maximum he can apparently sue.
So someone made fun of him. I mean, okay, let's pretend it's, okay, forget, I'll do it on the air, but I mean, this is...
Frank and Brent are both on their way.
What is the deal with the nutcases?
What do you mean?
This one, I can already tell. Dan told me about this guy. I mean, it's...
I don't know why.
Why do I get him?
Drew, are you listening? Is he listening? How do you talk to Drew? Where is it?
How do you talk to Drew?
Is it control room?
You pray.
Drew, it's ideal today, so can we adjust that? I thought I texted you. I guess not.
Yeah, we don't want him on there. Or just fire him off when Brent comes in.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell him to do that.
Just
Just fire off the spot as planned, but he'll be in studio. We'll do it all day. You know what I mean?
You can't read it. Do you want me to forward it via email? Because that's going to be hard to read.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I don't even. Is that from the old man? This guy? I don't even think I need it, honestly.
John Olson's on.
Yes.
9-6.
No, that's the one I was talking about. Get to the point. And I told him if he calls to get everything written down so he can just go right through it.
Yeah. Lunch?
You should hang up on him. So, sorry about that. You have to go back.
100% of Fortune 500 companies lease their vehicles because that's the smart financial move. Hey, it's Ross Kaminsky from my friends at Alliance Leasing, who can help you save time and money and more money, and have been doing just that for Colorado businesses for more than 20 years. Alliance Leasing will get you into your fleet vehicles with all the upfit you need for the lowest delivered price. I'm a finance.
Oh.
To me, the choice of leasing with Alliance is the obvious one for your
I don't need to do Frankie Baby either.
Alliance.lease. That's right. Just type Alliance.lease. Alliance Leasing, your key to the perfect fleet.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
It's like a variety show. News, culture, Hollywood, and food.
Mark, can you hear me? Also, those Hurricane Harvey folks are calling in to promote those drop-offs here in a bit.
Oh, great. That's good.
Problem is I know nothing about it. Did listeners even know to drop stuff off? I mean...
No, they didn't know this.
You know, I've become quite cynical in my old age. I'm not quite sure why, but I love helping people, and I love going after people. And did I say old age? I meant my young middle age. We've got a lot going on, but I'm going to bring Mike back up. And Mike, I do want to help you out, but I got to tell you, I was talking to Dan over the break, and we can't stretch this call out into 17 hours. So really what I need to know, and I have an expert on for you, Sean Olson. So what I need to know, Mike, is really what's the problem. You were at work, and what happened? How were you discriminated against?
It initially began as a harassment.
How did they harass you? Give me one example of harassment.
Okay, very quickly, we were draining a dam, our lake, we had to do repairs on the dam. I was asked by the board president to get some information from the engineers so we could possibly have a fish rescue. I was to be notified. The people involved didn't notify me. Just very quickly, I found out about it at the last minute, went flying up there. I got out of my truck. I was standing on the dam talking.
Oh, my God, Mike. Then you put your hand in your pocket, and then you took a step. Mike, what did they say to you? What was the discrimination? Please.
Okay, here it goes. Okay, when it started, the the one person in there when he reared back his stick, threatening to hit me. His wife, who is a board member, and this is where it comes in. She began to start snapping pictures of me. She began to make mocking remarks to me, and I put my hands in a surrender position, lowered my head, kept turning my back, asking her to please stop. She continued. I felt myself slipping into a waking flashback. I knew the symptoms, and I was falling into a flashback back when I first came back from Vietnam, when people were doing that to me on the street. And so the only thing I could think of was the Americans with Disabilities Act. So I said to her, I said, I need to put you on notice. And she says, well, I'm the board member, I put you on notice. And I said, well, okay. I said, but pursuant to the ADA, and I no sooner got that out of my mouth, she goes, ADA, yeah.
Mike, I can literally hear the clicks going down I-25 of people turning the station. Listen, I'm going to bring up Sean Olson because I think I know because of what Dan told me. And Dan, you talked to this guy for 20 minutes, so you are going to be his spokesperson from now on. Sean, here's the question. If someone has PTSD and has a flashback or has something during work, but once again, he makes $100 a month. Explain that part, Dan. Does he work for him or volunteer?
No, it's $100 a month that he gets paid. It's kind of like a token pay, right, Mike?
He's not on. I put him on hold. So, I mean, you talk to him forever.
Right.
So it's a token pay? What does that mean?
Is that or a volunteership? So
okay, so it's a volunteership. So, Sean Olson, by the way, thank you for coming on. Olson Law Firm. Employment law, I got to ask you something. If someone has PTSD and something happens at work that triggers a flashback, this guy now wants to sue for how much, Dan?
$250,000.
And at one point, I guess they made fun of him. Didn't he say that? That someone
Correct.
said, hey, you've got PTSD, ha, 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 ha.
Something like that, yeah.
So seriously, Sean, in a case like that, let's not just talk about PTSD, which I'm sure is harder to prove, but let's say there's someone in a wheelchair that works for me, and I go, ha, 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 you work in a wheelchair, and it freaks them out. Do I owe him $250,000?
Well, not necessarily. You could end up owing them $250,000. It would depend on what a jury would ultimately determine are the damages that result from that harassment.
And that's where I'm going. So exactly. It's like any other case in the world, what are the damages? So when we talk about PTSD, which is more of a mental issue, it's not a physical problem, like he's got a broken arm, the broken arm needs to be fixed, he's going to miss 5 days of work, or he's a guitar player, he can no longer play the guitar because he cut his finger off. I mean, when we talk about PTSD, how do you know? How do you get inside someone's head? Do you end up hiring like a psychiatrist or a psychologist to figure out if it was so traumatic what happened at work that now he can't live by himself or now he can't work? Or how do you even get there? How does someone get from A to Z when it comes to something like that?
Well, when you're talking about proving your case, yes, you'd have to have an expert who's able to testify that, yes, this PTSD does exist, and yes, it impacts major life activity like working or some other sort of life activity.
But you've got to prove, though, right? You're going to have to prove in court, or at least to the other side, in this case it's Harris Park Metro District, you're going to have to prove to them that what they did there created all these problems. So hold on one second. Mike, I want to ask you something, and please focus for me here.
You bet.
What are your damages? So they were paying you $100 a month for volunteering, or whatever that was. I guess really that doesn't even matter, but what are your damages? Since this has happened, what are your damages?
The main damage, sir, is going for a year with my condition fragmented, with being retaliated against over and over.
Like, give me an idea of retaliation. What evidence? Give me one thing you have evidence.
All you have to do is read what I sent you.
Mike, I'm on a radio show. I'll read it later. I promise you. Talk to Dan at length. Dan, what did he send? Please, tell me.
Okay.
Hold on, Mike. Hold on. Go, hit the button.
His case.
Yeah, okay. Did you read it?
I read it. Skimmed over it, and in a nutshell, it said that they had different things that they seen that there was some making fun of him.
Okay. Does he have an attorney?
I don't think so.
Mike, do you have an attorney?
No, that is the reason I was calling today.
Well, why don't we do this, Sean? Okay, if he's got evidence, and once again, this would be great if this works out, but this is a radio show. I mean, I can't drag something out like this forever. So, Sean, would you talk to him off the air and then maybe see if there's something there? I think that would be great for Mike.
I'd be happy to talk to Mike. If he wants to give the office a call, we'll set up a time to talk and see what we can do for him.
That'd be great. So hold on, Mike. We're going to do that. But, Sean, I want to ask you another question. Because this is a government entity, it's Harris Park Metro District, do they have governmental immunity? For example, like Denver snowplows, let's face it, if they hit your car, they don't have to pay you crap if they don't want to. Does the same work for employment discrimination?
It does not. Governmental agencies are not immune necessarily from claims of discrimination, both under state law and under federal law.
Excellent. Okay, hey, Sean, I appreciate you and help with Mike. It's just some callers. Thank you, Sean. By the way, Sean Olson Law Firm, if you have been fired, discriminated against, what's some of the main things you do, Sean? Honestly, your average call is what? Your average call that turns into something, meaning they have a real case, is what? I know you do a lot, but what?
We do quite a bit. You know, discrimination cases are tough, and so we don't get a whole lot of them as a result.
Yeah.
We do a lot of wage and hour sorts of cases where people aren't getting paid the minimum wage, they aren't getting paid overtime, they're not classified appropriately.
I'll tell you something. I guarantee happens with you all the time. Someone calls up and says, hey, I was an independent contractor for XYZ company. They won't give me my last pay. They don't want to use me anymore. I bet you figure out that they were actually an employee, not an independent contractor, and you rain hell on that company. How often does that happen?
That happens quite a bit.
Yeah, I got to tell you, and people think they can screw around. Oh, you're an independent contractor. You know, I don't have to do this or do that. I just don't want to use you anymore. And you find out that what? They were actually should have been classified as an employee, and they can go after a lot of stuff, can't you?
And that's the thing that kind of opens the door to a lot of overtime claims, a lot of minimum wage claims, things of that nature.
So listen,
it can get awfully messy for an employer in those respects.
Anybody, and a lot of times you can get attorney's fees, correct?
That is correct. Yeah, if we oftentimes the statutes that govern overtime, like the FLSA, like Colorado Wage Order, things like that, guarantee attorney fees at the end of the day.
So if someone calls you right now because they don't think, let's say they're on salary for $300 a week. I'm totally making stuff up here, but they're working 60 hours a week. Well, you know and I know in 99% of the cases that is highly illegal. So if they think they have a claim and talk to you, you'll talk to them for free over the phone or maybe even in person. But most of the time, if you think there's something there that you can go after and reclaim attorney's fees, it's not even going to cost them anything out of pocket. Is that correct?
Most of the time, that is absolutely correct. Yeah, most of the time we'll take those kinds of cases on a contingency fee basis, and we'll press those claims for them.
Sean, you rock, man. I appreciate it, and I love referral list members like this. Here's a guy that if you've been screwed over by your employer will help you out 100%. Give Sean Olson a call. Anybody out there, maybe you don't even know if you've got an issue. I got to tell you, if you're on salary and that salary doesn't equal minimum wage with time and a half if you're doing overtime, that company's got a problem most likely. 303-586-7297, 303-586-7297. Brent Ivinson. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Mark,
yes?
I think Brent might be a bigger germaphobe than you. He wipes down his wife's steering wheel when the kids are sick.
I spray her with Lysol. Beat that.
Hey,
literally.
I haven't gone to that point, but
I spray our kids and my wife with Lysol when they're sick.
The easiest way to not get sick, wash your hands.
Big time.
Don't touch anything that's been coughed on, sneezed on, drooled on, whatever.
You know your phone. Oh, by the way, Suzanne, please give Mike Sean's direct number so they can talk. Maybe we can get that helped out. The biggest thing is cell phones. I just read this article on, I think it came out of one of the health magazines. You know, people take them into the bathroom, and need I say more, and they never clean the screen.
Right.
I clean my screen all the time.
All the time. Constantly.
It's crazy. So we're going to talk about mortgages and loans and paying off debt and what people should do throughout the show, but rates are crazy good right now.
They are. Rates are fantastic. We're at the lowest level we have been
of the year?
All year long.
Yeah, I saw that.
So, good stuff.
All right, 303-713-8255. Okay, floor covering, Buddy Mitchell, Simply Floors. I don't know what else to say. Suzanne, do you love the carpet we have? Honest to God, do you love the carpet Simply Floors put in over a year?
I love it.
Our carpet is Shaw, and nothing can seep through into the padding. I mean, he sells everything. What I love about Simply Floors, they do good, better, best. In other words, if you have a house that you're just turning, want cheap carpet, cheap flooring, he's got good, better, best. Nothing's really, you know, he doesn't have really cheap Chinese stuff, but I'm telling you, he'll beat anybody's price, save up to 40%. They'll come directly to you. You go to simplyfloorsinc.com, INC, simplyfloorsinc.com, simplyfloorsinc.com. Go there. You can set the appointment. You can go to their brand new, beautiful showroom. But honestly, how we did it is they brought the showroom to us. The best prices, the best service, by far the most convenient way for all your flooring needs. Simply visit simplyfloorsinc.com.
No time today?
No, sir.
So, one of the things we should talk about, and we can kind of get into the details on it. So we've got this insurance policy that will cover down payment loss if you have to sell your house in a down market. So what everyone's worried about right now, right, is, hey, I'm buying at the top of the market. What if the bubble pops and I got to go sell 2 years later? And what happens to my down payment when I'm going to lose my down payment? So we're only doing it on FHA loans right now. We're piloting it on that. But the way it works is that if they're in their house, you have to be there for at least 2 years before the insurance policy can kick in. It runs off the calculation of sale, you know, your original acquisition price versus your sales price, or it will take the home price index as published by FHFA, which is the Federal Housing Finance Association. It will pay out the lesser of the two on that calculation. So what it ends up being most of the time on an FHA loan, they normally get their down payment back. Yeah. So it's, you know, essentially the way we're marketing and the way we're looking at it is, hey, there's all these protections for lenders, right? Mortgage insurance protects the lender. There's all these guidelines that protect the lender, the note, everything else, but there's nothing that protects the borrower and their down payment. And this is an insurance policy that we pay for them. We don't charge the borrower.
Oh, you pay for it?
We pay for it.
Holy God.
Do you build it into every loan?
We build it into every FHA loan, every FHA
Really?
purchase loan. So
Wow.
we're paying for it because there's going to be a couple of brokers in town that are going to have access to it, but they're going to have to charge everybody for it, so we just pay for it.
What is garage gross?
Force.
So
It's
got it. Yeah, so we pay for it. And then here's the other awesome thing. Even if they refinance, the insurance policy follows the borrower in the home, not the loan. So let's say they refinance, right?
Okay,
And
so
down the
got it.
line, they got to sell because of job transfer or they, whatever.
so say it happened 10 years down the road and market just crashed and stuff like this.
Once you go, it's only good for 7 years from the purchase. Gotcha. Purchase. Okay.
Wow, that would protect some of that stuff. So it doesn't any of the payments that they made on it? No, it's strictly the down payment. So they do 10% down, 5% down, 20%
Yeah, because
down.
what these guys said when we kind of created this product was like, listen, I can't do negative equity, right? That's because the model, the algorithm doesn't work on negative equity. But we can do the down payment for sure.
I wonder if you could do, just like there's gap insurance. How come no one's come out with gap insurance for homes yet? Why isn't it there?
I think because the amount they would have to charge would be so expensive.
I bet it wouldn't cost more than mortgage insurance.
No, probably not. Probably not.
Good point.
That is a good point.
But it probably depends on your market. Because this market here is going to be much better than like...
And they'd have to lock it, so if you took out additional monies, I mean, it's only going to be on that first mortgage. Right. They really should, though. So I guarantee a big insurance company's missing it. Although then you think someone's crunched the numbers, and like you said, it's not a sellable product.
Right.
But it would kind of take the place of mortgage insurance, right? Because at least cover their down payment.
Yeah, it's almost like mortgage insurance for the consumer.
For the consumer.
Right. That's really kind of the way it works out.
Wow, I've never even heard of anything like that. That really would make someone say,
It's pretty crazy.
especially when the rental market's like it is here. Now that says, okay, I'm not going to lease, because if I buy this house, basically it's what I'm paying for rent.
Right.
And I'm guaranteed my down payment back. Right.
I am so pissed over this health insurance.
Was John Jones available at all? $100,000 money back giveaway.
I'm just like flabbergasted.
Are we broadcasting live again?
Right. Always during the breaks there. Just YouTube, Facebook, not the radio.
I got a question I'll ask when we step out. Regarding media coverage of certain stories and not certain stories.
When you think about home loans, think ideal home loans.
Like the shoes?
Well, that and among other things.
Crazy. I met with an attorney. We're signing up in the Springs tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because he's so similar to me.
Equal opportunity lender regulated by DORA, NMLS 13675. For terms and conditions, call 445 ideal.
So he goes, there's so many people like me that no one knows about because we don't talk, we don't do stuff. We love Trump. The reason we voted for him is because he's not a politician. We want him tweeting. We want him putting his foot in his mouth because we didn't want a politician. That's why we have him.
Right.
We want the tax cuts, and we're going to be happy as hell, and we're all going to vote for him again. Yeah, right. And that's the reality of it.
Right. For sure.
Is this Madonna? Cyndi Lauper. Hold on, give me one more. Taylor Swift. Taylor. See? Look at me. Look at me, Brent. I mean, God.
You really are quite a music connoisseur. Really impressive.
Not only that, it's like my whole wheelhouse is incredible, if you think about it. Really. I mean, being with Tom for so long, I just know so much.
Right. There you go. You're a sponge.
I am. I'm a sponge.
Only took you 3 tries, too.
Well, Taylor Swift. Madonna was the first, right? I mean, out of those 3. No, actually, I don't know about that. Who else did I say? Cyndi
Lauper, I believe you said.
Is she still around?
I'm not sure.
Girls just want to have fun.
I
remember seeing her on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
When I was probably in, oh my God, 6th grade maybe?
Yeah.
So.
There you go.
I don't know if that ages me or unages me. I don't know, man. All right, 303-713-8255. By the way, we are going to give out some ZZ Top tickets, compliments of Frank Duran, the real estate man, and we're going to give out some, look at these. Look at those, Brent. Oh, don't salivate. Don't drip or drool.
There we go.
Broncos tickets for tonight. We're going to have to do this soon. You got to listen on Facebook. We're going to give out a clue, and then if you call in with it, you basically will get it. We'll figure it out, but you got to be listening during the breaks. 303-713-8255. Gary, what's going on, sir?
Hey, Mark, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Gary. Go ahead, sir.
Great. So really pretty simple question. You just before the break, you had somebody asking, or you had an advertisement for mortgage loans, and the mortgage rates have really dropped, and they're, 2.8 whatever %. So we see that on TV all the time. New mortgage rate, 2.85%, and then down below in small print you see where it says 3.5% APR.
Oh, great question. What's the difference? Is that your question?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what, Brent? It is kind of funny because everybody does that, and I know what it is, but I want you to explain it. But basically, if you roll up all the cost and then accelerate it out that period of time, that's the amount.
Right, absolutely. And when you typically see a very large disparity like that between the actual interest rate and the APR, it's because they're typically advertising an FHA rate. FHA rates are cheaper because there's mortgage insurance involved on a monthly basis and rolled in up front. But your APR is much higher on an FHA rate. So you will see a lot of companies that will advertise 30-year fixed rates, but they leave out that little nuance of it's an FHA rate.
Well, wait a minute. So technically, could you or could you not advertise like this? Because you guys are bound by certain things.
Yeah.
Could I put, if I was in the business, 1.9 30-year fixed, APR 4.8.
Yeah.
Is that legal?
You could do that, yes, as long as it's available. Now, you wouldn't be able to get 1.9 because there are thresholds we reach with pricing and in the market. But yeah, you could. I mean, you absolutely.
So some companies, that's how they say, hey, we've got the lowest rates out there.
Yeah,
but if you look at the real rate, that's the APR.
Yeah, and my experience, and I've been doing this since 1996. It's very few times have I sat down with a client and been able to accurately advise them in saying, go ahead and pay for that rate, because most people stay in a home 5 to 7 years. When you're paying these huge discounts to get these great interest rates,
who cares?
It just doesn't make sense financially. You don't recoup the cost.
Should you, and I've looked at this before, should you buy down your rate? A half a point, a point? Does it all come down to, and in fact, I already know it does. I say this because I want people to understand. You do the math.
Yeah.
If you're going to be there 5 years, maybe it makes sense. If you're going to be there 30 years, maybe it doesn't. Maybe vice versa.
Right.
You do the math.
Yeah, you have to look at the math. You have to calculate the break-even. You have to look at what the impact is on your payment, and then really look at it and say, am I going to be here long enough for this to make sense for me to do?
All right, 303-713-8255. Nick's got a parking ticket question. Yes, Nick.
Hi, I live in an apartment complex. We have assigned parking spots, and we're supposed to register our vehicles. My vehicle was in the shop for a day, and I was borrowing my father's vehicle and was parked in my assigned parking spot. I received a ticket from the company that polices.
Is it a tow company? What is it?
It is. It's called Parking Authority. They tow. And
so they didn't tow the vehicle. They gave you literally a ticket.
Correct. And
how much is the ticket for?
So it's $75.
Did you tell the management company, hey, you know, my car was in the shop, I was borrowing a car, what the hell's going on?
I told them after the fact.
I understand. They're saying, well, technically you're supposed to tell us or whatever, right?
Exactly.
Well, my God, though. I mean, this seems like, how about a little decency? How about a little common sense? So what are they telling you? Too bad, so sad?
That's pretty much what they said. I called the tow company. They said, talk to your HOA. The HOA doesn't...
Who's the tow company?
It's called Parking Authority.
You know what I'd like to do? Hold on. Can we get Martin up, please? I want to ask Martin something. He's one of the best tow truck companies out there. They're the best guys, but I got to ask him something. Hold on. Hold on, Nick. Oh, shoot. I hit the wrong button. Nick, call back, man. Call back quick. Or just keep listening, but I want to. I think we can help him, maybe. I got to talk to Martin. 303-713-8255. I do want to tell you about these guys, though. I love this company. In fact, I was talking back and forth with the owner yesterday. One clear choice, garage doors. You know, they got a cool place in Castle Rock. You can go check out stuff, but, man, they do all the repairs on garage doors. They do garage door openers, and I'll give you a special in a minute they're doing. Emergency 24/7 service. If that spring breaks, you can't open it up. And then, of course, they do garage doors. Beautiful garage doors. All different kinds of pricing. They are the best out there. One clear choice garage doors, $299 gets you a brand new LiftMaster 8550 or a newer model. It might have changed by now, but for $299 installed, you got to give these guys a call. They are the best out there when it comes to all your garage door needs. 303-565-6409. Call now for that special. $299. It's belt-driven. It's quiet. It has everything. The closed feature, battery backup. They're great people. 303-565-6409.
How can a tow company give an enforceable ticket? All he says is doesn't pay it, so what?
They'll probably tow it. I don't know, but that's...
He'll never come back?
But I guarantee Martin will know.
I'm going to get John Fuller on before John Jones because John Fuller's got a time limit.
That'd be fine.
Okay, line 2 is pissed off at me or us. He's the guy with the felony. You can't get a place to live. He calls like every month.
I love that.
No, but please let me explain. So Tom said we'd run a background check on him. Well, I forgot.
Okay.
So he's pissed.
I don't care. Let him be pissed. That's fine. What a jerk.
He's just like...
Tell him I'm pissed, too.
He didn't say he was pissed.
Everyone's mad.
Frank's pissed. Dan's pissed. Look at Dan in there. Or look at Drew. My God.
You know, I told you Frank had a closing this morning, and then he's on his way in. Lady he closed with must be Diane, because she says, I just had a closing with Frank this morning.
She's loving him.
Hey, how should we
She's
get
loving you not.
Brent, come up with a way to give these Frank Duran ZZ Top tickets out. We say something on here. Okay.
I think that's the best.
Someone has to come and they have to sing 2 lines of their favorite ZZ Top song.
2 lines of their favorite ZZ Top.
And the best performance wins the tickets.
I like that. Okay. Now, no one might take advantage of that, but we'll see. All right. You got to call up and sing not 2 choruses, 2 lines. 2 lines of your favorite ZZ Top song. If you want these, what camera are we on?
That one right
You want the ZZ Top tickets, you call up. What number?
303-713-TALK.
303-713-TALK. or 303 Martino. And then the Broncos tickets, you got to agree to get punched in the face by any Bronco I choose. No, I'll come up with one. I'll think about the Broncos
Let's
tickets.
do a good Seinfeld trivia.
For the Broncos tickets?
Yeah.
Is there any side? Oh, there was a Super Bowl episode.
I should have brought our Rockies tickets. 6 Club on the Rockies.
Is that today?
No, but we have. I don't think. Are they playing tonight? Hang on.
But the Broncos are playing here, huh? Jeez. I gotta leave early then. Not here. No, not to go.
I can't hear you.
I gotta go to Fort Collins.
No, but they play.
Who's the big?
They do play tomorrow night. I don't know if we have a ticket. We already gave them out.
Oh, the Rockies.
If you have them, we'll just push it, because every time I talk about them, it's Ideal Home Loan. So, if you have them,
yeah,
but you have to have them here. How do you get the tickets?
They're at the office.
Oh, okay, good.
But they're locked up in my office. I don't let anybody. I kind of just let it go as a free for all, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
where's my tickets?
Where's all the Rockies?
The one time you want to go, they're gone.
Right.
Hey, you said it was a free for all.
You didn't say we couldn't. You didn't say we couldn't have the World Series one.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're gonna make that.
I was so bummed out. I was in freaking Cabo. No, we were in Cancun during the World Series when the Rockies went against the Red Sox.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody there was Red Sox. Of course, I'm the loudmouth going, you guys suck. We're going to beat your ass. Holy shit, they couldn't win one game. Couldn't win one game.
Yeah, at least it made it.
And I was the lonely voice.
The lone soldier.
The lone soldier.
Screaming and yelling.
Oh, big deal. You guys won the first game. We're not used to the World Series.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right. We'll never be there.
We're not used to big games. It was incredible, though. If you guys remember, they had, no hope of getting there. Then all of a sudden, they...
Boom.
What's this follow-up, Dan?
I don't know.
Line 4. Follow-up with Dan. Basement Finishing Company, Joni.
Oh, no, I didn't follow up. She sent pictures. I don't know. I've never talked to her. She had cement pictures.
Joni.
And so I told her to call in just for the fact that...
That's not Joni, it's someone else. That's Alice Ray or something, the cement pictures. Joni is a follow-up with Matt Donnelly, the Basement Finishing folks. They called before. You lined that one up. Okay, please, I'm going to go get Frank. He's downstairs. Would you please take care? Here's the donation addresses. So please take him, okay?
What do they look? Oh, you see what they're looking for.
Studio with both of those things changed right over at 8:36 here on 6:30. Hey, Hal, don't miss it.
You know, we've been talking mortgages. I got to tell you about Approval Reverse Mortgage. These people are great. Her name's Joan Sullivan. What I love about Joan Sullivan, she's the founder, the president of Approval Reverse, and she'll be the first one to tell you whether or not a reverse mortgage is right for you. But the bottom line is, if you're over 62, you intend to live in that home as long as you possibly can, and you've got some equity in the home, you might be able to get extra cash each month to live off of. You might be able to get rid of the current mortgage. You can even downsize maybe and do so you're not paying any mortgage, or even upsize if you got enough equity and have no mortgage payment. Call Approval Reverse. Call Joan Sullivan personally, 303-771-3528, 303-771-3528. Frank Duran, the real estate man, just walked in.
Hello, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Frank. I got 2 ZZ Top tickets that you're giving away. Okay, you probably, I don't know if you knew you were giving away, but you are.
The men with the beards, right.
Now, that's right, the man with the beards. So, we did a secret thing only over Facebook, and they have to call up and do something, and then they get these tickets. I can't say what it is, but 303-713-8255. I promise I'll go to Ross in just 1 second, but Diane, it says kudos to Frank Duran. He just walked in, so this is karma. What's going on? Diane!
Hello?
Yes, Diane, go ahead. Yes.
I just want to say what a wonderful experience we had with Frank Duran. If anybody needs to buy or sell a house, use Frank Duran, the real estate man.
Frank, who is this? I assume it's one of your clients.
Diane, God bless you. I actually just came from that closing. We just closed on Diane's home.
That's why you're late.
That's why I'm late, buddy.
Because of her. So, Diane, you made Frank late.
Yep, I do.
You made Frank late. I'm sending you a bill.
Uh-oh. Send it to Frank.
Okay, listen, did you get him off the referral list and listening to us?
Yes, we did.
I got to tell you something. I've never had one complaint on Frank. Not one complaint, period, end of story. He's one of the nicest guys, but anyhow, hey, thank you. I know Frank appreciates that as well. All right, so we've got to do this. I got to figure out how to do that. I just did it. One line open, 303-713-8255. This is important. Ross Craven, he's with Garage Force. They're packing up a truck and they're heading down to Texas. Ross, when are you guys leaving?
We're planning on pulling out sometime tomorrow afternoon.
And what supplies can people donate right now that they can use? I know diapers are a big one I've seen on the national news. What else? What to bring, what not to bring?
So, yeah, first off, Tom, thanks for having me back on, and definitely want to say thanks to all the generous people out there. We've had a lot of supplies coming in over the last 24 hours. We've received thousands of diapers and a lot of blankets and toiletries. The things we're needing right now are more small items. It's all about spreading as much,
like what kind of small items, though, Ross? What are you talking about?
Like travel-size shampoos and conditioners and soaps and toothbrush and toothpaste. Like if we can go with travel-size, we can spread it out to more people.
Oh, my goodness. You know what? Anybody out there listening, everybody wants to do something. Hit the dollar store right now. Pick up a ton of this little stuff and get it over to these guys. There's a couple drop-off points, but really, you heard what he just needs. So the little travel size, hit Walmart, I think. A lot of that stuff's like 49 cents or less. I mean, buy what you can and get it down to these guys. But you've got 10940 South Parker Road. Whereabouts is that?
That's Parker Road. I believe it's, I'm not familiar with Parker. That's the south side. I believe it's fairly close to 470 though on Parker Road.
What is it, though? I mean, what lies at that address? Where are they going?
That's the UPS store.
Okay, the UPS store. I think that's right by the McDonald's on Main Street and Parker Road. Suzanne, please clarify that. Main Street and Parker Road is where that UPS store is.
Yeah, where that McDonald's is. It's right in that same parking lot at Main Street and Parker Road.
Beautiful. So listen, anybody, that's what they need. Small items. This isn't going to break you. If you live in Parker, this should be a no-brainer. You want a way of helping out and feeling better when you watch these poor people on the rooftops and everything else. This is a great way to do it. The other one is in Louisville, 972 West Dillon Road. So what's there?
That is the Dova Center, which is a medical center supplying and pain relief and stress reduction. They've taken in a lot of stuff in the last day and a half or so. They've actually got an office full and starting to store items in the lobby, so we're having a pretty good turnout over there.
Very cool, Ross. I appreciate that. Any listeners listening, please get down to there. Dan, put up a banner we can put on there with those addresses where to drop stuff off. They only need small travel-size stuff. I mean, as much as you can buy. Lots of shampoos, soaps, maybe toothbrushes, toothpaste, any travel-size stuff. These folks out there need it. Hey, Ross, I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And then a couple other things that we could use to help with the logistics and getting packed. If we could get like some large vacuum bags for compressing blankets and towels and that sort of thing, so we can maximize our space. And then any like heavy-duty stackable storage totes would be great.
How do they get in touch with you if they have this stuff, Ross?
They could give me a call directly on my cell, which we could put up on the banner as well. 720-576. 6888.
Give it one more time. Anybody out there's got these things, these compressors, you put them in, they suck the air out. It turns a comforter into like, the size of a dictionary.
Yeah, absolutely. That number again was 720-576-6888.
All right. Hey, Ross, God bless you. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. 72. I did it before. Last week, I swear I did it. I swear, Frank, a couple times I go to give my cell phone number out. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't. 303-713-8255. Philip. Philip, it says, or Suzanne, it says, talk to you first on this. Give me the skinny.
That's the one I was talking to you on break. Philip's trying to find a place to live, and we were going to run a background check on him, and I dropped the ball.
So, Philip, we got to run a background check. How can I help you, sir? Philip.
Hello, I'm here.
Yeah, Philip, what's up? Go ahead. It's your turn.
Hey, man, check this out. Here's the thing. I mean, I called numerous times, about, I have a whole story. I have a plethora of issues here that need to be addressed, all of which are not being heard. I'm still sitting here and...
Philip, what are you talking about? I mean, you've got to start somewhere. What's the problem?
Okay, so first of all, I'm sure you already know the call back in, say about...
You're trying to my God, Philip, cut to it. You're trying to find a place to live, right? But there's some challenges behind it.
Right, we got people trying to do the income verification, the background check, which all completely obsolete, issues.
What do you mean obsolete issues? If I'm renting a house out to somebody, I'm going to do a background check, Philip. It's normal. These people aren't doing anything wrong.
Okay, here's the thing. The statute of limitations for Colorado for any felony offense is 3 years. I've already rolled that over 3 times. Why is even a background check even necessary?
I'll tell you why it's necessary. Because people generally don't want to rent to someone that's been in prison. That's what it is. I don't know why. If you were the landlord, what would you rather do, Philip? Honest to God, if you were the landlord and you owned a nice, beautiful house and you wanted to rent it out, and person A has a job making $100,000 a year, it's all documented, they know they work there, and person B has no income that's verifiable, person A never went to jail, person B did. Hold on a second, I want to come back to you. Maybe we can help you, but to call up with an attitude because we didn't find you a place is absolutely absurd, brother. I'm going to take a deep breath. We're going to come back right after these messages. Lewis, Nick, Joni, everybody hold on. My name's Mark Major, and this is the Troubleshooter Network.
Oh, giving me shit. Good morning, everybody.
Hey! Hey, so we're going to talk about this. We just got a hold of a new product.
Okay.
Only on FHA buyers. We will insure their down payment if they have to sell in a down market, and we pay for the insurance policy it covers.
Oh, nice.
So the way it works is they will run a calculation of original sales price and current sales price, right?
Yeah.
They'll also take a look at the home price index as published by FHFA for that region.
Right.
And they will pay out the calculation based on the lesser of the two.
Okay.
We did it on FHA loans only because we found that in a majority of instances when we ran scenarios, they get all their down payment back.
Right.
So
if they bought a home for $300,000,
right,
and 2 years from now, God forbid, the market tanks and home's now worth $250 or something,
right? Then this insurance policy would kick in and refund them their down payment.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah. So it's not going to refund them the lost equity, but it'll refund them their down payment.
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you have any literature on that stuff?
Yeah, I'll get you. We're putting a whiteboard. We're putting a whiteboard out together. That's all illustrated. We'll get it out to you for sure.
Do, buddy. Thank you.
So the other cool thing, the policy stays with the homeowner and the house.
Okay.
So if they refi,
See, I look at the email, he doesn't even say that.
That is awesome.
So the other nice
all
thing
these
too
are
is we pick up the entire cost of it.
Okay.
We don't charge them for it at all. And the reason being there's going to be a couple of brokers here in town caught onto it, but they're going to have to charge the consumer, because they can't just build that into everything. We just build it in. We take care of it. We pay. So
how old is it? I mean, like this just
we literally just got this all done negotiated at the end of last month.
Maybe she was emailing lies.
Send me whatever.
Yeah,
I appreciate
that.
Well,
yeah, we're going to talk about it today on here, and it's because the studies show that 80% of people feel like owning a home is a good investment.
Right.
But 56% right now feel like there's a bubble coming.
Right.
And then the other bigger and more astonishing thing is that 65% of parents said they would gift their children a 3.5% down payment if they knew it was protected.
Right.
So it's huge.
That is huge.
So it's big for the millennial home buyer for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just so anybody who's currently under contract and using an FHA loan, hey, call us. If we can get it closed on time and not disrupt your closing, we'll do it. It's awesome. It's a good deal.
Buddy, that's really good.
So
that's what you have to do, though. You have to be cutting edge all the time. What can I do different or better? Or,
for sure.
You can never get relaxed.
Yeah, no, ever.
I read, Larry Bird, the basketball player. One of the quotes from his book, he says, you can never get to a point where you feel like you've made it
You have to constantly be working at making yourself better.
You always do.
And I love that
never
philosophy.
stop.
Yeah.
You never stop.
When you get fat and lazy, you get ran over, man. That's
exactly right.
That's
Look at everybody who's ever gotten fat and lazy. What happens?
Yeah.
They disappear.
They disappear. That's right. That's awesome.
Not that one woman. She broke the world record. She's 1,020 pounds. She hasn't moved out of bed for like a year.
That's a different deal. True.
Man.
Fair enough.
So beat that.
Duly noted. I'm good.
Weekend sale Thursday through Monday. Take an extra $10 off.
How'd you like to bring that home to mom?
With promo code TAKE10. Plus, everyone gets $10 cold.
I've got a plethora of problems, and there's a statute of limitations. Yeah, okay, got it.
Fitness Gallery Superstore, where we sell the world's finest fitness equipment. We're celebrating 20 years.
Dan, where do you find these people, man? How come I get the nutballs?
No, they're coming up today.
Or are they normal till they talk to me and I turn them into nutballs? I'm not sure. Maybe
that might be a component of it.
Maybe I'm missing it.
I think you drove them to prison.
You made me rob that guy at gunpoint.
If you can't test it, don't buy it. We sell gym quality and take trade-ins.
You got any plans this weekend, Mark? Anything?
We are going to the Aspen Music Festival.
0% financing.
They got a couple of big headliners. I forget who. Because they are not Metallica.
They're not Metallica?
It is not Metallica, I can tell you that. With the exception of that,
Did you go to Guns N' Roses?
I did not. I was never a Guns N' Roses.
You weren't? I figured if you were.
Is Axel with them now, or?
Yeah.
We call them Guns and Posers.
Yeah, Guns and Posers. I didn't go. I got a couple of buddies who went. They said it was good.
I missed the Metallica one. We left for California that night.
Poor planning on your behalf.
And then, of course, everybody I knew that I had no idea they were Metallica fans were there.
Of course.
Streaming live, and I'm just like, this is unbelievable.
Hi, I'm John Fuller with Fuller Injury Law. I've handled thousands of car wreck cases, and I can...
I know, I can't believe I missed that either.
Evaluation.
I was looking, they were going to Canada as soon as we got back. I was looking into flying into Canada to see them. I was so bummed out.
You've heard of debt consolidation. Is it a good idea? Yes, if you do it the right way. Or should I say, the ideal way. Here to explain is Brent Ivinson, president of Ideal Home Loans.
This guy can't verify his income. His background sucks, and he's upset that no one will give him a place to live. I don't know what do you say.
It's pretty rough.
I think he does everything cash. That's why I moved.
You're going to be completely debt-free, mortgage and all, sooner rather than later. How do we get started? You can call us at 303-867-7000 or apply.
I'll hit the dump button because I'm guessing Philip's going to end up dropping one.
7,000, that's 867-7000 or idealhomeloans.com. Ideal Home Loans is regulated by the Division of Real Estate, NMLS number 136756. Call 303-867-7000. Example based on $250,000 loan amount.
You got some kind of like, what's a loser song? Can we come back with a loser song?
Finding great candidates. We're coming back with the top of the hour music.
What's that song you had?
Can we start the show with a loser? No. Damn it.
Mark, what's the song? So you had a bad day.
Oh, yeah. Actually, Frank had a good one. If this guy stays, if you've had a bad day.
Never, it'll sound good.
You know, I like helping people, but when he calls up with an attitude,
yeah.
You guys didn't do this or that. Well, okay. Good way to get somewhere with me. Oh, he hung up. He hung up.
That scripture, a gentle answer turns away wrath. Please be nice. It should be nice.
He hung up.
And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
And then Martin, if we can get him.
Now, Tom Martino, the
Troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. My name is Mark Major, and as you know, this is the only show of its kind. We solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, make your life a little bit better. We also get directly involved and recover hundreds of thousands, hundreds of millions of dollars over Tom's 38-year reign on radio. Yeah, longest running show, same host, Mr. Martino. He's out today, but don't worry. There's no reason to fret. We'll still go after the bad guys. Hey, Philip. Oh, he is back. Good. I'm going to go back to Philip. Philip called months ago, and he's looking for a place. I want some listener feedback on this, and more importantly, I do want to help this guy, but I got to tell you, Philip, when I go to you, I'm in a mood with you because you call up acting like now it's our fault. So apparently it's everybody else's fault that doesn't want to give you a place to live or won't rent to you because of different reasons, and now it's our fault that you can't find a place, and I find that absurd. I mean, at some point, Philip, why don't you take a little responsibility for your past in what you've done?
Dude, I didn't call you to blame you guys for not finding me a place. I think.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, Suzanne. What did he say when he called up? Because now he's saying that he had no attitude, no issue.
Well, he did. He was pretty upset when he called. He must have calmed down.
Philip, how can we help you? Let's just put the past behind us. How can we help you for real, man? It is very hard to get a place. I know that. In fact, a year ago, it was even harder to find a place. So what location are you in, and how much can you pay a month? Let's start with that.
Well, I'm happen to be forking out $1,600 plus, plus storage at this point.
Okay.
So I'm reasoning with that, but that's like overkill. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have.
So where are you staying right now?
I'm staying at a motel, man.
And it's $1,600 a month.
Oh, we're talking easy 15.
Okay. So keep going. So what area are you in?
Lakewood, west of Lakewood.
Okay, so if anybody out there, and it's just weird, man. So tell me what you're actually up against. When they run a background check, what do they see? I mean, let's be straight with everybody. And then I heard there's some kind of problem because you get paid under the table. When they want to see the income verification, you can't do it either, right?
Right, exactly.
How much do you make a month, and what do you do?
I'm a professional journeyman painter by trade. I do high-end homes. I do decks, $1 million home decks, what have you. Just recently up in Evergreen, Colorado.
But who do you work for? Do you just do this yourself, or you actually work for somebody?
I pretty much do this myself, and I work with several different contractors. All through my years, I've never had issues with unemployment. I've never had an issue with maintaining my own place of residence. I mean, that should be proof itself that a man can sustain himself. I'm living proof that you don't have to have credit. You don't have to have income verification. You don't have to have all this and that and the other for.
Philip, you're living in a fantasy world. You do these days. You do have to have that. When people right now, the market is so hot for rentals. Now it is calming down a little, and then everything will loosen up. But right now it is a hot market for rentals, and it is. You're competing against people that can prove they make money and prove their background is clear. You're up against that.
Well, check this out. What do you think about this option? Somebody told me about manufactured homes. There's something to the effect of like trailer homes. They're brand new. They're state of the art.
Yeah. So what do I think about them? They're fine. If you want to buy one, buy one. What do you mean? What do I think about them?
I don't know how to get involved. It's just my thing.
You mean building them or get into one?
I'm sorry.
You mean building them or getting into one, living in one?
And living in one.
Well, I mean, you got to buy it. You sit down, let's say it's $60,000. You basically apply for a loan on it just like a house, and you find a place to put it or a place to build it. I mean, it's like buying a house. I mean, Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans, a manufactured home is a little different when it comes to a mortgage, but the purchase is pretty much the same. I mean, you're literally, generally speaking, you're taking a loan out and you're paying it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's very, very similar.
And they hold that as collateral. The title to it is collateral.
Which brings me back to the original issues that when they want to do, when I try to go for a loan, I can't qualify for it.
Well, of course, Philip, there's nothing I can do or anybody else that's going to help you with that. I mean, unless you get a time machine and go back and not have the issues you had. Or if you go back and get a job where you actually get a pay stub and pay taxes. You get paid under the table. No one's going to give you a loan. Hold on a second. I don't know where to go with him. I mean, if you don't have credit, folks, you can't get a loan. I mean, this is not brain surgery. I swear to God it's not. Is there any world that you know of, Brent, where someone can get a $60,000 to $100,000 loan with no income verification and no job that you can prove that you have, and then on top of that, a criminal record? Honestly, who's going to maybe Vinny in Jersey will loan him some money, or Guido. Okay, listen, I got to switch topics real quick. I don't know what to tell Philip. Suzanne, let's do this. Let's run the background check like we said we do last time, so I know what's on there. And Deputy Daff can do that tomorrow when she's in. Then we'll reach back out to him. But, Philip, I don't even know why I'm doing it. Because if it's bad stuff on there, what do we do with it? We can tell you what's on your record. If that's what you want to know, we can tell you what's on your record. So maybe when you go in, you tell people, listen, this is what you're going to find, but I do make money. I mean, there's ways to do it, but my God, you got to sweet-talk them. Don't sweet-talk them like you attempted to do to us. John Fuller, Fuller Law, my favorite attorney. How are you, sir?
Marvelous. What's going on?
John, I'm like, well, you know me. I can get a little upset. I don't understand something, and I'm going to talk to Integra Insurance a little later on in the show, but I want to ask you something. So, our accident, okay, and I don't want to go into specifics on ours, but I'll use something. So, we're going to go out, and Suzanne's got to have something done to her nose because of the accident. So, we get this is why I'm having Integra on. Listen to this, folks. So we pay about $1,200 a month for insurance for the four of us. We get T-boned by somebody else. Our copay, just forget about the accident part of it. If we just had to go in because it was a slip and fall and she hurt her nose, not only do we pay $1,200 a month for the Kaiser insurance, but it would actually cost us about $4,000 for the surgery is our part of it. So, I mean, to me, that part is for somebody else. But, John, here's my question. When she gets this done and the other insurance company ends up paying Kaiser, that's correct, right?
No, not technically, Mark. What happens in every case is we have one settlement, okay? And from the proceeds of that settlement, we will negotiate and then ultimately pay back Kaiser's subrogation.
But we have to, right? So even though, here's what's killing me, John. Even though I pay for insurance, and I pay out of pocket when we go have this done, $4,000 or whatever, they basically still pay Kaiser back. So what the hell am I paying Kaiser every month for? What is Kaiser insurance good for me when I go in to use Kaiser insurance, and now they're getting paid back by the other person? I don't understand it.
Well, Mark, you're one of many that has the same basic feeling. But here's the bottom line. Kaiser has insured you for your health, okay, not for accidents.
Okay.
So if you get a flu or you get pregnant or you have some disease process that pops up, they're right there for you. Now, yes, you're going to be paying a high deductible and high copays, but that's the deal you have with your insurance company. You can negotiate with them and pay higher premiums and have lower deductibles or vice versa, but that's your deal. But Kaiser and every other health insurance says, look, if you get hurt and it's somebody else's fault and you're going to go after that other person, then we want to be reimbursed.
So when they subrogate, John, when Kaiser subrogates with the other insurance company, and I hope I'm using the right word, and they get X amount back, let me ask you at least this part. Does it at least go to my my max out-of-pocket for that year?
Well, the max out-of-pocket for the year is a function of the gross amount of your medical bills and your out-of-pocket deductibles that you've paid. It has nothing to do with that. They only get to subrogate on that portion. And Kaiser's weird, Mark, because they're playing with their own money. But let's talk about a traditional insurance company where they receive a bill from a doctor, they reprice it, and then they pay the doctor their previously agreed upon contractual rate.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So in that easy-to-understand environment, the only thing that your health insurance has the right to get paid back is that portion which they've paid out of their own pocket. So just because they receive a $2,000 MRI bill, if they only pay $600 and of that you pay $2, they're only entitled to ask for that $400 that they're truly out of pocket for back in subrogation, not the original $1,200 or $2,000 MRI.
John, here's my question, though. I know I'm not stating it right. So let's say her surgery is on January 1st, where my year starts over with Kaiser. Max out-of-pocket per individual is $6,500, and I'm sure it's going to go up because they go up every year, thanks to Obama. But other than that, $6,500 January 1st. Let's say the surgery, my copay out of it, my copay happens to be $6,500 for the nose, for the deviated septum, for that, okay? Let's say it's $6,500, which was all accident related. Now, anything going forward for that year, have I maxed out? Have I maxed out on that year? Does that make sense to you? Or because the other people turn around and pay that, they don't count that?
No, Mark, you've maxed out. Your deal with your insurance company is your deal.
Okay.
The other people don't get involved in your deal at all.
Okay.
The right of your company to subrogate has nothing to do with what you've paid out of pocket up to that point.
Even though I'm getting reimbursed on what's out of pocket.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the secret sauce here is that even though it's fundamentally, unfair, if you will, that you get stuck with all these out-of-pocket expenses. When we deal with the other insurance company, we don't itemize things out in terms of out-of-pocket, subrogation expense. We're looking at that gross amount of the medical bills that were charged for the procedure in the first place, okay? So that way it equalizes things between somebody that has a great plan with no out-of-pocket versus somebody that has already made their, their out-of-pocket at maximum. So we don't ever get into the minutia of those details.
It has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it has nothing at all.
Okay.
We're only dealing with the gross amount of those medical bills and what the defendant is ultimately responsible for.
All right. Hey, John, and I got to tell you, folks listening, this is why you call a great attorney if you're injured. I swear to God, when I saw that thing today, John, I had to understand, am I going to get double hit? And you're explaining it just right. I get it now. But, folks, if you get injured in an accident, please, please listen to me. I did it the second after we got T-boned, John, and I have you on the phone right now. Well, I can't say the second, within the hour after I knew Suzanne was okay and everything was good as far as getting T-boned by some nutcase that blows through a red light. Once I knew it, who did I call? I called John Fuller, and John, you've held our hand through it. Anytime I have a question like this, and anytime I want to talk to John, here's the funny part, John. Here's what I love about you. I call up. Now, if you're in court, that's one thing, but when I call up and want to talk to you, guess who I get to talk to? I talk to you. I don't talk to your paralegal. Now, I like your paralegal, but if I want to talk to you, and I know all your clients are the same way, I get to talk to you. And the other part, John, I got to tell you, we were in your office about a month ago. They came to you with an offer, and you said, Mark, I'm going to fight for more because I know it's worth more. So when that other insurance company wanted to play games, you stepped up, and you said, we'll litigate, we'll do whatever we got to do, but we're going to get a fair offer. If you want the best attorney out there, John, I appreciate you coming on, by the way, but if folks out there, if you want the best personal injury attorney, listen to me. If you've been hurt, write his number down. My God, write it down, put it in your purse, your wallet, your glove box, put it somewhere. John Fuller, 303-597-4500. I swear to God, he is the best. 303-597-4500, John Fuller.
This report is brought to you by Woodley's Fine Furniture.
Drive across the Mile High City.
That's awesome.
Addie will be third this year.
Oh, Addie's going to be
November.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's her big test.
I saw Addie break a board.
Oh, that's wait till you see her break 3, man. I feel so bad when they get up to third degree. We'll usually have a few broken hands